Man, I can't catch a break. OBS has been crashing like crazy the past couple days. Reset the... Anyway, I figure that's gonna be an omen of how things are gonna go. It's best to start, and maybe it's best to start. Let's rock.
Get up to rock, get up to burn, stand with the pride, ever feel your desire. One day I noticed that my life...
Y'all are definitely hearing me okay, right? OBS has been kind of funky the past couple days. It's, crashed a few times in the lead up to everything. You can hear me, put a more shoe please in the chat. Or your favorite emote in general. Okay, great. Appreciate it. Yeah, we got a BT versus HoboNinja coming up. Thanks for backfilling this evening, BT. Coming through, filling out the bracket, number 8. And appreciate y'all waiting through the intro as well. I love finding music here and there and sharing it with y'all. If nothing, WeebCup is a place where we can all come together and share mutual interests. It's definitely no foreshadowing that statement at all. How's the sound? I've done a little bit of tweaking, so if things sound a little funky, feel free to let me know, and I'll adjust it as time progresses. But we're getting into this match here. BT taking initiative, a little bit of knockdown, a little bit of corner carry. Ninja. Look at his patience. Good check, as usual. HoboNinja with a quick 5P ready to anti-air. I do think it's gonna be kind of interesting. I don't see this matchup. I say that like I don't commentate it every other couple of weeks, but it's been a little while since I've seen this matchup. I gotta refresh my memory about how slide head quite works in this matchup. You know, his hover movement, going over that ground quake. BT bowls into the lead the first round. And I tell you, that hammerfall break is a lot trickier to react to than you might initially think, so BT did get clipped by a 2P there, so we'll have to see if that's a omen of things to come. HoboNinja in control of this round, completely and utterly. Finding a good space to with the Temkin Buster, the dangers of being 2+. I tout them on the weekly, it seems. Even Stevens on resources as we move into the third round of this match. First game of this match, rather. And again, we find ourselves in the position where HoboNinja, back to the wall in the corner, tries to get out with the heat tackle. And it's a risky maneuver to do. Shades of Hugo just using the backbreaker grab from Third Strike, I feel like. Ooh, BT. Sending meter wants this wall break, and who can blame them? Got my, I like the kind of jousting after the post-deflect shield there. Deflect shield, I figure I may as well come clean. I spurred to create this week's stream title after a couple of deflect shield interactions that happened last Friday, and I do think deflect shield is a good mechanic, and we saw a good use of it just now, but I don't know, I feel like there's some cases where it can be a bit unfortunate in how the user tries to fight how it's been implemented. Ninja, a little early push towards the corner. BT with the counter hit, not turning it into anything though. HoboNinja turning that heat knuckle into a command grab. You know, if your body is a machine that turns guard crushes into command grabs, you know, you're having a good time right now. BT getting a whole lot of corner carry, but look how much ground BT has to make up here. Unable to do so, but that's just what you're up against when it comes to this this Potemkin fella. And it is tricky. Potemkin can't crouch underneath, or can't walk forward underneath the chemical up there. Always reminded of that. Like I say, it takes me a while to warm back up to how this matchup quite works. We don't have a Potemkin at my my monthly or my locals, so... Ooh, very nice use of the break into the shield. Very nice. And now that threat of the shield is really causing BT to clam up. And set up a great situation for HoboNinja to anti-air the attempt to dive out. You know, if you're up against a Chip or an Eno, you've got to be careful with your corner spacing so that you can catch these diagonal moving air attacks to get out. HoboNinja had a great read on the situation they set up too. Knew exactly how to use it. Bravo. 1-1 now. You can see Teddy waiting in the wings by my aquarium there. Gonna be a bit yet before we get Teddy available to game. It's match 3 right now.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Excuse me, an errant cherry escaped from my bag over here. I had to clean it up. Life looking pretty even right now, but BT, looking in control, has the situation maybe not as under control as I thought. The thing about these heady mix-up characters, one touch can really interrupt their momentum and put them on the back foot. I cannot believe that 6B hit. I know people like to talk about how disjointed Potemkin's dumpy is. This is still a very dangerous situation for BT to be in. HoboNinja doesn't manage to find any way to quite turn things around. One touch is all this character needs. I think I'm noticing, maybe it's just mistimed? It's not worked against Chemical Love the past few times I've been observing it. Rude setup. Leads to a Potemkin Buster, as I've said before, you know, body that turns guard crushes into command grabs. Very cagey. B. Again, is in that one-touch danger zone of their life. HoboNinja. Progressing in smoothly, patiently. YRCs. Ooh, 2K a little too stubby, and BT backpashing the slide head. He's managing to work HoboNinja really effectively here. Especially with the spending of the meter. HoboNinja, clipped low. I don't think, no, BT will have enough. Did not quite expect that much damage, I forget. Scaling is not quite so aggressive as in older games. BT, 2-1. HoboNinja back in right away, though. Bracket life is on the line here. BT needs 2 more rounds. HoboNinja 4. Ooh. Always alarming to see a grappler moving so quickly, especially if you're right above them. Not quite able to get the punish on that missed heat tackle this time. BT grabbed. Oh yeah, HoboNinja can turn things around here for sure. Needed all the meter in the world to do it though. Did not expect Heat Knuckle to be scaled quite so heavily. I say around after I say the scaling is not as harsh as one might think. Heat Knuckle's just a guts destroyer though. Ooh. Look at these 5 Ps to catch the backdashes. HoboNinja. Not converting them into anything, though. That's what led them to the situation in the corner. Delayed stroke. Forces the burst out. BT is on that point here. But that big mirror is gonna have a few words to say about that. Oh, never mind. I had the hearts backwards. Arxis, why you gotta make this so confusing? 2-2 right now, excuse me. Looked at the one heart and just assumed. That's right, it doesn't quite work the same as every other fighting game on the market. Except for Vampire Savior. It's 2-2 now. Excuse me. It's something in the back of the throat there. It's a 2-2 situation. In Game 5, neither player wants to back down, just trading blows in the initial few seconds of this match, and if things come to trading blows, which they aren't, the gamble that BT will come out worse in. Oh my gosh, I thought for sure BT was gonna get clipped by that Heavenly there. That would have been... I would have gotten real excited if that had happened, despite everything. And I can't talk like that. There's no bias here. I'm not for or against anybody. Yeah, I'm real surprised that HPB didn't connect. Reversal from BT against the reset attempt. He's BT on set point. For all the 6Ps I've seen not quite work with Chemical Love, maybe Slide Head is the answer if you get preempted with it. HoboNinja gonna get a big punish on that life bar. That whiffed heat tackle there. Ooh, finds a counter hit? Really? Ooh, this is a big opportunity for BT. HoboNinja with no burst, only has a YRC on defense if they wanna... Now I got two, but it's gonna be a big situation turn around. Fortunately, just too active for that RC from the HPB to deal with. BP missing in action last week will come through to move on to the next round this week. Alrighty, gamers. Fatcatteddy and Drax. If you have a little bit of time, tomorrow, I believe I spoke to... Let me just check my records. Yeah, so if you have a little time tomorrow, go through to Guilty Ears bracket. They're running a team bracket, and Reyna and Drax are going to be competing together tomorrow, unless plans fall through. But yeah, go through, check the stream, and give them some support. BT, you must leave the platform. The top 8 dream matchup. BT, you must vacate the platform. Thank you. Excuse me? Chaos? I see Teddy on Chaos there. No worries. If it's a Strive moment, you know, just let me know and I'll keep that in mind. Okay, Teddy on Chaos. I've seen this before. It's been a while. And it's an interesting initial matchup for these two gamers, because from what I remember, what I've been told, what I've seen, these two gamers are made for each other. They are both aggro. They both want to hit the buttons. And the Chaos, maybe not a character you initially associate with that. associate with a bit more technical play. Drax is just getting kept out by 6Ps here. You know, maybe... I want to say I've seen Teddy on Chaos before, but... Like I've said in the past, Teddy has a great revolving door of different characters to bring to the table, and it's been a minute since we've really seen a Chaos in the bracket. You know, if you're a WeebCup regular, a long-time gamer, Guts has been coming through representing the Chaos. Oh my gosh, I hate my mic sometimes. Stole the sound a little bit, don't worry about that. Alright, sound discrepancy aside, we're back into this match, still in round 1. Eddie up 1. You know, I wouldn't put it past Chaos to steal the mic sound. He shoots the timer in the one in the timeout thing, so... I'd like to see a bit more of stuff like that in the future. Maybe a funny character to do something like that. There's one thing you can say about Chaos, it is that Chaos bleeds whenever you hit him, so... Drax took that pretty convincingly. Goes under the far slash with the 2H. And with the Ozansen, ooh, nice pickup. You know, Drax, at some point, Drax, I swear, I didn't get around to it this week. I'll put the Ozansen ASCII art in the commands at some point. Oh yeah, Etherlux comes through with Chaos. It's normally when you think of Chaos in the WeebCup vernacular, you'd think of Guts, the long time. What happened? The Teddy flummoxed by their pick of characters not quite working out. It's a transmission. Alright, settling into gold, Lewis. I really like how both these characters stand out against the background of this stage at the moment. Drone availing to nothing, not enough charge to go the whole screen. Drax is setting up some Yozansen mix-ups there, you know. You like to hover above the opponent, hit IP, hit PP in the air. You may end up on one side or the other. How did that go to the other side? I tell you, this Viking character, I play against them all the time, and I still never understand how Yozansen works. And when Vikings coming in hot like that, it's very difficult to really anti-air her or have some kind of position of advantage either. Wow, that was a really gutsy read right there. I'm not sure if it was a reaction or not. I don't even want to call it a read. I want to say it was maybe RC forward, saw the situation, and seized it. Has to worry about the drone now. Teddy. Nice air-to-air. Think this will connect? No, it won't. Too many churns. That's the thing. Too many churns. It becomes too slow to connect at certain timings. No RC in motion to capitalize that time. Now under drone pressure, Teddy just coming in hot. Has the life to just blow on, swinging madly, and does so. And this is what I was kind of referring to when I said earlier, these two gamers are made for each other, with how they like to press the buttons in this game. Oh my god, just throwing out the air moves. Well, BT whiffs by millimeters. Eddie has a bunch of meter though, so we'll see if that turns into anything in particular. Certified presser. Teddy in a really advantageous situation now. Under the drone pressure, Drax. Yeah, I see too many names in the chat. I want to insert them into what's happening on screen. Drax is well on top in this set. If I recall, the last time these two gamers played, Teddy swapped to Slayer and turned things around in a reverse sweep situation. Not opting for that strategy this time. Again, making use of the White Wild Assault. I brought it up a week or so ago, but Teddy is a lot more liberal with his use of White Wild Assault compared to Sea Drive, the other Gold Lewis in the bracket this evening. Again, Drax. Good use of Yozansen, just staying pretty plus. Teddy throwing out the reversal though, catching a 5k, and life situation looking pretty bad for Drax. Whew. Just whip punishing that JS there. 6p clash, but Gold Lewis doesn't really have a good cancel option at that range, does he? Let's see, what's the saying? You use, the Drunk uses the lamppost for support, and the Enlightened Man, someone else uses it for illumination. Ooh, baiting out the parry there. Ooh, going over with the downward swing BT there. Drax an inch from death. Interesting clash there. Needs Teddy to turn things around quite nicely. Yeah, so, you know, sometimes the hitboxes are funny. But yeah, Steve, you should implement Wild Assault into your game. If you land a 5H, you get a charged Wild Assault with Anji. He's an extremely good user of it. And you can use it to reassert pressure if you're getting pushed out. Yeah, Wild Assault is a great, powerful tool. Incidentally, if anyone, we call it Red Wild Assault around here. I don't know what I know what other people call it, but around these parts it's red. Oh my gosh, Teddy is just chunking Drax's health bar right now. Oh, not quite fast enough. Oh my god, Steve, you are a menace if you actually do that. I can't believe you put that in my chat room. Teddy... seemed like there's going to be a little bit of pressure back there on Teddy to kind of take things, but manages to find a good trade. JS really paying the bills for Teddy. I want to say all three win screens we've seen have been Teddy using JS. Even if it's not, it feels like it. Teddy just going for strike gameplay, no throws whatsoever. And you know what? It's working. Teddy has brought the score to an even 2-2. Just back throw there. You could not pay me to match back throw against Gold Lewis Dickinson. I would be terrified. Drax can't be terrified though. It's game time. Start of match 5. It's first of this best of 5. Wins here, takes the whole thing. Good use of burst to avoid being thrown into the drone, whether that was intentional or not, you know, let Drax explain it, but good reaction if not. claiming the hard knockdown. Teddy is really getting a lot of mileage out of these reversal supers, and with the rope there set up, would have been kind of spooky, but Drax spending resources and I have to deal with it. Again, JS. Everybody calls Biken's JS esports normal, but Teddy's just one paying bills here too. Now it's Teddy. On set point. The 5K, the big steppy to stop any approach. You know, it's been reset the clock on C-Drive talking shit about Teddy's ability to play Gold Lewis. Fires the gun, gets rid of the drone. Teddy punished for aggressiveness with a Hiragi. Doesn't quite have... Oh no, clip with the gun! 3-2, Teddy moving on. I tell you, the gun, you don't think about it quite as much as, but it's surprisingly difficult to react to, don't you think? Excuse me. Why am I getting ping? Why is this pinging me? Why is this pinging me? Discord. Discord is very odd. I have a channel set to give me no notifications, and wouldn't you know it, it's sending me notifications. Okay, we're moving on to round 2. Oh, I see. It's going to be one of those matchups, isn't it? Alright, let me get the, things done up here. It's gonna be BT and Emo Scooby-Doo first up. Sounds like someone's entering the room. And wouldn't you know it, it's a double mirror on winner's side. Okay, so this is about the only time I'm gonna try to directly influence the direction the tournament's going. We need C-Drive and Teddy to have a Gold Lewis mirror or a Bedman mirror immediately after this, just for the big funny. Have him backwards, excuse me. I knew immediately, because Emo Scooby-Doo always has smell of the game pumping on player one side. Ooh! Good whip punish. That's a classic little fighting game moment there where you're playing the same character, throw out a move, the opponent throws out the exact same move, and then you whip punish them for doing it. Emo Scooby-Doo taking the advantage. Oh no, they're colluding. They took me seriously. We might have a Badman mirror. Emo Scooby-Doo is finding some great whip punishes. First that, on that 2K, and now getting a big 2H whip punish there. Carrying it to the corner, taking it to the bank. Finding the MLA. And has Wild Assault to work with. Great red Wild Assault too. Ooh, not quite. Maybe a little a drop there. I'm not intimately familiar with Eno's Wild Assault routes to know exactly what happened there, but it's a little 2P to close things out. No need to use a cannon when the hunting knife will do. Back in with the Scooby-Doo got an aura? Scooby-Doo's got an aura. I see someone's been gaming. Incidentally, I got my Celestial grinding done earlier today. I ran into Mixius in the tower. It did not go well for me. See a little bit of back and forth jousting with these Eno specials. Here we do. Ooh, again, now it's BT's turn to find that 2K whip punish. And we're beginning the mixing. Safe jump there from BT. BT has meter to spare, so we could see no BRC. Just a nice walk back and cancel off a punish. Oh, it wasn't even... I did try to 6P a pile bunker at one point. I regretted it immensely. We had a big stare down, and I taunted. Scooby-Doo's taking advantage this round. Not opting for any kind of note OP. It seems like both these gamers want to use note more in neutral. Interesting. Keep taking things. Oh, heck yeah. If Clone is coming to your monthly, get some pointers and bring it to WeebCup. Ooh! Scooby-Doo is really taking charge of this set after the first round there. Opting not to spend meter. I really am very interested in Emo Scooby-Doo's kind of technical play. They tend to have a lot of interesting stuff they like to do. They're always trying something new, always looking for ways to improve and change the game. But there is a whip punish in BT's future. And Emo Scooby-Doo looking maybe a little spooked to try and throw out a reversal super. Ooh! Oh, unfortunately, does not get the better of that trade there. It doesn't even... I don't even think it did trade. BT beat it clean. Evens the score. Myself a little sippy there. And just in time, too. We're back into the third of 5 matches in the set.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Very nice, very nice. 2 has to go under the chemical love. Bringing up 2 of the points I talk about most when this character's on screen. You know, honestly, I could just take the day off after that. It's really doing my job for me. Emo Scooby-Doo. Very strong start. I say start like we're not 21 seconds in. Was under the dive. Very nice. It's always fun to see how these moves interact in improbable ways. About 25% of their life yet. Not enough to, not quite finding the gold burst there. Emo Scooby-Doo has so much meter there. It's looking very dire for BT. Finds a dive, goes overhead, cleans up with a big confirmance at the super. 2-1, nice, quick, clean. Eddie loves it, he's over there clapping. Match 4 of this Eno Mirror. The Scooby-Doo 2 rounds away from winning.
Duel
maybe slowing things down a little bit, taking a step back to 2H in the case of an approach. I wonder if that's the best way to play it. There's nothing wrong with changing the game's pace, but Ino in particular I find is a character that preys on the pace changing. So we'll have to see the rest of this plays out. Emo Scooby-Doo looking to rush in, not opting to hold back now. I think that was a 5P just to check the BT's air movement in. An MLA working as a kind of interesting anti-air in that situation. Puts Emo Scooby-Doo on set point. Very interesting that 2S kind of, I don't want to say it vacuumed, but BT kind of flopped over Emo Scooby-Doo to other side because of the stroke. Because of the airborne state. Very interesting interaction. You learn new things about this game every day, it seems. Scooby-Doo. Ooh, just checked by a 2P. He draws first blood. Under. After deflecting the JD. This is a real spooky situation to be in for both gamers, really. Ino has a very good 6P. But, you know, swinging too hard means an instant dive to punish. And that's kind of what we saw. BT just taking charge. Ooh! Just kind of controlling the situation, not doing too much directly. And just working on what Emo Scooby-Doo's doing in terms of movement. BT evening things up 2-2. See who gets the S in the mirror in just a moment here. It's coming down. Not quite to the wire yet, but it's getting close. And Emo Scooby-Doo backing off. BT not committing to much of anything right now. Emo Scooby-Doo taking advantage, getting the plus frames from the MLA. Aggressing. Bursting to keep the corner. Has those plus frames. Swoosing in. Stroke. Now the Nodoki. I was saying earlier we hadn't seen a whole lot of it. And again, this is what I mean when I see Emo Scooby-Doo's kind of a technician. Wants to find new ways to optimize these little knockdowns against the wall, these wall slumps. He gets caught while backdashing by the JD. 2P challenge, though. 2S. Don't even try to do a follow-up. Prey on somebody who's waiting patiently to react. Emo Scooby-Doo on set point. And the pace has been slowed significantly. We'll get 6P. Put by the overhead now, BT begins the pressure. Both these gamers are pretty close to burst. Big 5H counter hit. That's what Eno brings to the table with the H buttons. Oh, gets clipped! But BT didn't believe! Oh, burst! The burst! Oh! Emo Scooby-Doo bursting and gets shut down almost immediately afterwards. That's going to be huge implications going into this round. Double Luigi situation with no burst. BT full up. 6P to beat the air movement. Emo Scooby-Doo going through the wall. With just under half their life. Diving. Counter hit JH. Cancels into the super. Hard knockdown. BT has so much meter to work with. Emo Scooby-Doo. Don't worry about these, this not quite zoning game. I really like that there. BT aware of the Eno move. Oh, baits the burst! Emo Scooby-Doo turns it around. Very nice. 3-2. But yeah, that was I really liked what BT was doing at the end there. It has a very good grasp on this matchup there, taking advantage of Ino not being able to run or under the chemical love, just throw it out to try and zone. Great little matchup that shows what you can do when you know what the mirror match brings to the table. Alright, it's C-Drive and Fatcatteddy. This horrendous mirror that probably nobody wanted to see, but it will be funny anyway. I gotta say, Bedman mirrors in Exard era really fun. This character has a lot of like interesting mobility going on in the Exard era. A little more clunky in Strive. C-Drive taking charge immediately. Wants Teddy to know they've got Bedman down to a science. Under pressure. No more errors for C-Drive to work with, though. Allows Teddy a chance to get out. Fumble on a conversion leads to the situation you see now. Good block on the 6H. Flipped by something. I'm not even sure what happened there. It's Teddy's turn to kind of take the corner. Getting pushed out. There it is, the JS. Going for the install. Oof. Good check. As you may know, there's a 5-frame gap between most of Bedman's cancel options into the malfunction. Ooh, that killed. 1-1 in this first round. First match, excuse me. Teddy is nothing if not willing to check these approach options from C-Drive, these staggers. Back throw instant. Throwing the bomb head, and just goes low. These triangle jumps from Bedman are primarily what drew me to the character back in the Exard era. Initially, it was the simple inputs that the character had, and then finding out that Bedman has very, very fun mobility is what brought me in fully. And it's good to see that the character still has... it's not quite as fast as it was in Exard, but still has very quick, very fun ways to do stuff in the air with the triangle jump they have. And again, if you remember the Gold Lewis match from earlier, Teddy is nothing if not willing to represent White Wild Assault. C-Drive likes to play a little more conservatively with it. Teddy with the early life lead and wall break. Big JS. But it looked like the Thunder Arrow kind of knocked C-Drive out of the situation Teddy wanted him to be in to do combos. Oh my gosh, you people are doing the exact same thing! Teddy. The pressure. C-Drive. Finding a chance to fight back real quick. It do be a mirror. Again, representing the White Wild Assault. Suppose it's no surprise that both these gamers are trading projectiles with each other. Bedman really wants some kind of error on deck, and the projectile is the fastest way to get that happening. Sea Drive again, clipped by the White Wild Assault. Nothing to capitalize off that 5D though. Has the life to throw out on a slugfest. We're moving into match 3 now. Drive, getting some early pressure with that blocked malfunction. Good use of burst from Teddy to take the corner. Drive, once he malfunctions on deck though. Or errors on deck, excuse me. Quite able to capitalize on a wall break. Sees Teddy getting the install and a whip punish and some errors to work with. Oh my gosh, the bomb head. Sea Drive. Under pressure, but has meter and burst, so it's not going to be a huge problem. Unless Teddy really picks the situation really well. You know, that's what I call a well-picked situation. Will recover in time? No. Sea Drive. Passing up a chance to spend more meters to close things out and pays for it. That install enhanced Thunder Arrow from Teddy really just got the job done. Under the bomb pressure. It's another malfunction for plus frames. Teddy. It seems like in these kind of situations where both characters are kind of scrambling to just hit buttons, it seems like Sea Drive is getting the best of things, but Teddy is kind of controlling things a little better. It's a little bit different than I initially would have expected. Considering Sea Drive a bit more of a bed specialist, has played Bedman more regularly in the past. But Teddy has been playing Bedman for a project at Locals, if I recall correctly, and it's starting to show that Teddy understands what this character is all about. Match 4. Teddy representing White Wild Assault in a hurry. In a malfunction. And I think Sea Drive is using these arrows quite well. The pins. To kind of bait out any kind of pressure. Any kind of attempt to mash out when a malfunction's on the table. But I want to see a bit more malfunction. Teddy's getting a bit permissive. An arrow coming in, so Drive. Yeah, there you go. Drive with the life lead though. Just throws out the reversal. Good timing, good opportunity seized there. Had plenty of meter, so that was a fine decision. There we go, that's what I want to see. Just go for the malfunction instead of just going for the pin. Mixing up now. Finds a close slash starter. Not the biggest conversion, but does get damage on the board. Charge Dust, what's Teddy got? JS, you know, get the job done. The install set up, gets the follow-up going. Teddy on set point now. It's definitely been an interesting match. It's been slightly difficult to follow, just because of all the visual noise this character puts on screen. It is a legit part of this character's kit, making their mix harder to see. D-Drive on top right now. Great fight from the anti-air. It's knocked out of the air hover, though, by the super there, the reversal super. And C-Drive is looking to even things up. 2-2. Teddy's sticking with the bed. So we move into match 5. Teddy drawing first blood, taking that burst. It's C-Drive who has the malfunction stocked and ready to go, and that's turning things around in a jiffy. Teddy's been making very good use of these reversal supers. Drive has not respected them at all, and a fairly big chunk of damage done as a result of that. Yeah, great use of the super there. Have a 100 meter, why not use it all to get out of jail? Not for free. Hey, we haven't seen a lot of scoops. I'm wondering when we're going to see a little more throw in this strike throw game here. Teddy is on set point right now and is aggressing towards victory with a big 6H conversion into the malfunction. Install. White Wild Assault. There it is. C-Drive waiting for the opportune movement and going for a little bit of throw pressure. Gold Burst from Teddy. C-Drive has a lot of ground to cover, though. And with Gold Burst from Teddy, the resource situation may look kind of dire. Manages to get the malfunction, even though it whiffed. The 3-point shot didn't connect either, but maybe this is a turning point for C-Drive. Both these gamers have so much meter to work with. Yeah, Teddy choosing not to spend. Trying, I wonder if that will be... a problem for Teddy coming now. Maybe would have wanted to wrangle some burst out, but C-Drive did spend White Wild Assault. It's a double Luigi situation. Teddy does have the burst advantage. You see that burst get spent. C-Drive has enough to spend on a shiny new White Wild Assault. Charge just blocked. C-Drive will be going through the wall. Spends the White Wild Assault. We could hear it. The insult's safe. Goes for the pin. And I made note of that. C-Drive getting a lot of tip with that pin. Maybe getting more with some malfunction, since Teddy is a little more permissive than one might think. C-Drive very under pressure now. Has meter. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, there it is, the projectile. Teddy, 3-2. Moving on. All right. The mattress melee. You crack me up. Okay, we got HoboNinja on the right. We got Reina on the left. It's Kai and Potemkin.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts.
Heaven or hell? Duel 1. Let's rock!
Reina taking the early pressure. HoboNinja playing the big fella. Have to contend with a lot of projectiles, a lot of these pokes hitting at ranges other characters might not have to worry so much about. Surprised that YRC worked. Thought Reina was going to be just out of range. Finds a 2D there. The root of pressure, Reina backs out. Look at this movement. Giving a great position to whip punish forward Mega Fist Reina. Gets XP'd immediately. It spends burst immediately. Your projectile, my projectile. HoboNinja not missing a beat. Goes for the PB. The punish on the Stun Dipper. Gets put back in the corner with the reversal, though. HoboNinja definitely not out of it. Reina. Kind of picking and choosing very nicely with these projectiles. Maybe going for a BRC overhead, but not finding the right spacing for it. Finding the quick input for it, excuse me. HoboNinja has the corner. Root of pressure. Good backdash on that Potemkin Buster. Reina fighting out. Scoop into Oki. Finding a good range not to get clipped by this Potemkin 5P. Good whiff punish on the 2H. I really like that. That was really good. Not aggressing in that situation, just choosing to run under, and as a result, escaping the corner even with burst. Burst would have pushed Reina back in if she'd gone on the offensive. I think that was a great judgment call from Reina. This burst of her own now. HoboNinja. Gonna be very spooky. Okay, burst is gone. Reina opting to spend on offense with the overhead with the RC. Oh, with the dust! Catching the backdash. HoboNinja. The skin of their teeth. Takes match number 1. Potemkin's close slash a little slower than most, so it's one of many tools you'll see be to catch backdashes from this character.
Duel 1. Let's rock!
Keen WeebCup enjoyers will remember that HoboNinja got first place last week, so the one to beat, but Reina, maybe the most consistent gamer currently playing in WeebCup. Gotten plenty of top 1 finishes with High Kisk and Jonathan both. Ninja looks to be in control if you only look at the resources, but ooh! I mean, if you look at the screen, maybe HoboNinja's in control there too. for the wall. Won't find any trouble approaching this character, Reyna. Just has to worry about getting, once they've gotten in, what's going to happen. Little 5P like that turning into this mirror pressure. Oh my gosh, escaping the sandwich situation. Has to be really careful about attacking because of that. Look how long it lingered for. I think Reyna handled it pretty well, but HoboNinja playing around the options as well. Ooh, fine little JP air to air. Another reflector. Reyna creating plenty of distance between her back and that mirror. Robbery character, you said it. It's very dangerous to start off the match with a something like a bar slash nowadays against Potemkin. You can see second one Kara Potemkin Buster. You gotta be very careful. Pick your battles. A little bit of staggered pressure from Reyna. Has a life lead, but this is nothing Potemkin can't overcome. Looking for burst. HoboNinja not quite getting the gold burst. Again, the mirror catching the 2K. Oh my gosh, just melting. That's it. I love Daru's emotes so much. HoboNinja. Has the health bar in the bag. Just for that, though. Listen, I don't know. You say Daru has the best emotes, but I have yet to see an emote that will beat this one. Nothing will top that for me.
Mankind knew that they can.
Alright, we're moving in. Match number 3. HoboNinja. Getting pushed back. But this isn't a bad situation to be in. HoboNinja proves. 6B. Ninja making good use of that backdash. Getting out of trouble. Again, the shield. Oh, okay, okay. Beats Reyna. Finding the sacred edge to go through it, but a little bit of trading going on. Oh no! Invincible it may be, but its Rain not the greatest. The reversal getting beaten out by the Garuda projectile there. HoboNinja finds himself on set point. Finds himself like he's not actively making it happen. Finding a stun dipper there. That's a little spooky to do. We've seen 2 now of the move getting punished by Potemkin Buster. But with 50 meters, stun dipper becomes a much more appetizing prospect, doesn't it? HoboNinja, edge of their life. Just getting 6 speed. Still on set point. What a whip punish, going under that bar slash. What an anti-air with that 5B. Talked a whole bunch of mess about how HoboNinja loves to use that 5P for anti-airs. Good time to use burst to beat out the Sacred Edge. And we'll get Reyna. It's coming. The shield is coming for you. Reyna escaping from the pressure. Now has a Uphill battle against RC Potemkin Buster. RC stun dips in. Close things out. Clutching it, staying alive. Grasping firmly and not letting go. Simply crouch at long range. Alright, it's game 4 now. Reina affirming that yes, she is indeed fighting for her life out here. HoboNinja taking a reserved approach. We're not seeing the violence that is Kara Potemkin Buster at round start. Not yet. Again, the 5P. Potemkin just has so many tools. To deal with the likes of these backdashes. Command not working. Simply get on my level, I guess. Alright, HoboNinja. Finding Potemkin Buster. Oh my gosh. Now HoboNinja now on set point. I guess that's the wrong one. A Kai one there. Oh my gosh, Reina. Oh no, oh no! Oh no, she is truly dead. Damn. Alrighty, I think that's that there. Back to the room force then. HoboNinja 3-1 takes things. Okay, wait a second. I thought I was looking at the thing there, and I saw Reina on the setup still. I thought HoboNinja had disconnected after doing that. That would have been dirty. You know, war is hell sometimes, and what is Potemkin if not a war against common sense and what you have to look at there. Now we move on to Drax vs. Stinky Steve. You typed that like a second before the kill happened there, and I was thinking, damn, we got a psychic gamer in our chat right here. Alright, it is Baiken versus Anji. And I can give a real informed opinion on this match, because I know all about Baiken versus Anji, and my informed opinion is, man, I hate this matchup. Baiken can play real belligerent in this matchup. Anji's got to deal with sluggish buttons versus Baiken's very fast ones that kind of control similar amounts of space. There are some bright sides to this though. Drax is making excellent use of the Yozansen Pressure there. Steve. Not thinking too hard about it, just doing it, and working out so far. Steve going for a lot of Ko in neutral. Good punish. Bursts into the super. Good game there. You gotta be careful aggressing on Viking immediately because of the parry. Ben's gold burst. And you know, Steve wants to use a super at some point. Alright, Drax clipped by the 6P after trying to IAD in. You know, as cheeky as you can be with Biken's JS, it will lose to anti-airs consistently, so can't get overzealous with it. As for the fish, Drax willing to challenge on these Fujins pretty immediately. Steve. Steve. Paying for his hubris. Getting leashed. Oh, Steve can do a funny thing right now. No, it doesn't do the funny thing. And there you go, catches the tatami mat. Something interesting about this matchup, I believe, is that you can, on reaction to the initial hit of tatami, if your spacing's proper, you can just go for parry super and it'll catch Biken. Treat it as projectile, but you'll catch her. Good use of deflect from Steve. And that spin there was bold. Counting specifically on Biken not using far slash at round start. There are ways to beat round start far slash of this character, but it's one of the cornerstones of why this matchup is frustrating. Anji has to make very heavy commitments in order to beat out Biken's round start. Not quite able to get the fish at that positioning. My regular training partner says, no, really, you should just use spin at that situation. What's Biken gonna do if she hits you with H. Kabari? Full burst? Ooh! Okay. I see what Steve's up to. Steve up 2-0 right now. You know what? Hang on, I'll do it again. Let's back off into the whip punish. Goes for the fish. Steve, everything's coming up Steve right now. That's right, there's a gap there, so Hiragi can jape Anji. Behind the back. Oh my gosh, look at these, how delayed those Fujin follow-ups there. Steve getting as much damage as possible out of these interactions. Nice delay on the JS to try and beat out any kind of Hiragi follow-ups. And again, the good use of the 5H there to go for the OTG. Not quite killing, but okay. Spending burst there seems a little dicey. Thank you for using that emote. It's one of my favorites. Oh my gosh, just running in to beat the parry there. Drax mashing. I can bless with a 4-frame button there. Terribly short range, but it is 4 frames. Can't take that away from her. Steve is playing completely out of his mind this evening. A BRC backdash into Ko. Yeah, I agree completely. When it comes to Anji, you have to, if you play really fast and stop people from adapting, you can get away with just throwing out Rian over and over and over. And like what C-Drive's saying, you don't give him the time to adapt. But now is just starting with Wild Assault? What a maniac. Guy's a maniac. Not quite getting the throw there. I think the pressure that Steve wanted. Oh my gosh. And now Steve's... This has been a real chaotic match. It's been very hard to commentate this, actually. Just not even trying to bait the parry there, just go in. One of the messiest 3-0s I've ever seen. Steve moving on. He'll be going on to fight BT in the next match. Before we see that, it's C-Drive versus HoboNinja. Thanks for coming through, Drax. It's been a privilege and a pleasure to have you through this evening. Likewise to Reina. Have a good rest of your evening and stick around in the chat if you like. Let's see here, I better get my pings out. Alrighty, we're into it. It is time once again for two men who are burly. They'll do what you want. Both these characters love a little bit of guard break and chip damage in their lives. Lots of ways to inflict it. Whew. Takes the skin off Potemkin's nose with that BT there. I'm surprised. Not letting the drone happen. The mark of a good Potemkin there. Shot out of the air, evening up the life. HoboNinja has burst to work with, has bigger limbs to work with. I recall correctly, that seems to have been the crux of last week's matchup between these two. HoboNinja finding lots of 5H punishes on BT in neutral. Woo! Interesting RC interactions, you'd love to see it. How flexible that mechanic can be. What a sequence. Not quite a bailing HoboNinja there. C-Drive. It's getting a little low there. Yeah, I'd spend there too. HoboNinja taking the corner, has the 5P. Anti-air on deck there. Finding a nice space here, HoboNinja. Getting pushed back like this isn't going to hurt that much. Back throw incident, C-Drive. Starting on a great offensive sequence here, dealing a big bunch of damage. Not a max churn, 2 churns. Ooh, Ninja. Oh my gosh, 2 shields back to back? Just getting beaten out by the sheer number of resources. from downtown, like, BT is a great neutral tool, but against a character with so much armor and such great range, it really does feel like it's going to be a spooky tool to contest anti-air 2H. You never see that with this character. It surely was a misinput. There it is, shades of last week. There's the flick to beat the drone. HoboNinja eager to bait out a reversal. Never comes. C-Drive takes advantage. Ending burst. That's the shield up. Under pressure. Fortunately, it looks like that string came to an end at just the wrong time for HoboNinja. We saw a little 2K check. Get a string of pressure going. C-Drive. Taking match 1. All right. Ninja. Ooh, from downtown. Get over here. You know, it was a call out. It was a bold. Yeah, again, another, like, right as Steve is saying it in chat, HoboNinja getting these heat knuckle callouts. Goldblue is just so big that these heat knuckle callouts are getting maybe a bit more mileage than you might expect. First baited to no avail. HoboNinja. Trying to make good use of FD to create a space so they can whip punish with Behemoth Typhoon behind the back. No, not quite getting the conversion. He just did a little input error. Armors through. That's what character brings to the table. Just armoring through these devastating moves. D-Drive baiting the burst. I really do like these bold callouts that HoboNinja is doing with the armor. Just doesn't quite seem to be enough in the grand scheme of things. Oh my gosh, you know, two unstoppable objects meet each other. When an unstoppable force meets the immovable object, the winner is the one that has meter to cancel it. And you know, C-Drive had the meter. C-Drive? Very curious compared to last week. Sitting pretty at 2-0. Ninja gets a PV nice and early in the first 10 seconds. Sets up the mirror. Oh my gosh, he might just die. See, I said he might just die, not he will die. Fighting out with 2 Ps. HoboNinja can just slug it out at that point. That heat knuckle call out, not turning into a big conversion. You'd think C-Drive would want to use laser here, but Potemkin has the tools to deal with it. Could use the likes of Slidehead to just shut it down. Oh, good cancel to stop the armor, though. C-Drive looking to assert a lead here. Put themselves on set point. It does find that situation with a little 2K after them plus frames. Set point. C drive. Manages to just press in and slug. Finding great range. It's a total reversal of what we saw earlier and what we saw last week. These BTs just finding home. Not giving HoboNinja a chance to counterpoke. Now we see the armor though. And the side swap. HoboNinja under laser pressure. Ooh, ignores it. Has the meter. Sets up the shield. Oh my god. That was such an explosive round. HoboNinja taking one with aplomb. C-Drive undeterred. HoboNinja getting plenty of chip to work with, but C-Drive draws first blood. Goes for the reset. Potemkin Buster. Now, C-Drive's seen that before. Good YRC to take the corner. HoboNinja. Horseback while C-Drive builds resources. Isn't able to rob HoboNinja much in the way of the resources. Not with that minigun. Or suspend burst. This is a bad situation to be in. As C-Drive moves on to set point, no burst to deal with things. C-Drive, not a big user of White Wild Assault. Won't be bothered by not having a whole lot of burst. HoboNinja down to about 25% life. Just check the toes at the 2P. The whip punish on Potemkin Buster. And it's that BT cancel that sees C-Drive close things out. 3-1. This is the segment of the bracket where I'm moving real close to the mic as the game checks the connection after that. HoboNinja, as a jape, does like to close out games by doing that. Connection's been lost. Alrighty, gamers. HoboNinja heading home. Great to see you come through. Appreciate it as usual, as always. We will see you when we see you next. BT and Stinky Steve coming in next. I'm so glad that someone is using my silly pondering the orb emote. I've not found any kind of situation to realistically use it in, except when someone mentions pondering an orb. It's unfortunately not a game where Raven or Heihun exists, so you can't just drop that emote every time they set up their Oki. It's BT versus Sneaky Steve. The more I play this matchup, the more I think I see and understand why it's an Anji favored matchup, but at the same time, also the more I see, the more I think that it's not quite as Anji favored. It's a very puzzling matchup. Up by the reversal. I do have the right... Okay, yeah, I do have it. God, for a moment there I thought I'd mix up the Enos again. Not for any real reason, just the creeping red down the back of my neck. Managed to spin through the MLA, but it recovers very quickly, so... I tell you, I'm very curious as to why... I'm gonna ask Steve directly at some point why he goes for IADJS in safe jump situations and not JH. A little too spooked to swing into that reversal there. Steve gets the pressure. And again, 2S. You gotta be careful. What a scoop! Steve, HoboNinja's not the only one with good anti-airs. Stinky Steve has a variety of them to work with and is not afraid to use them. Steve using spin to great effect there. Listen, if anybody's gonna use spin for aggressive reasons, it's definitely gonna be Steve. Like, yeah, that's what the original players who stuck with this character in season like 1 and 2 were saying, that since it's so active, you can use it for traps, that kind of thing, since Anji has kind of sluggish options to stagger his pressure with. The gold burst immediately. Okay, Steve is looking to game. Clip low, it's not gonna bother Steve. He's got that big health and the defense boost from the likes of Gold Burst. PT fishing for counter hits with that 2H. And his H buttons are nice and disjointed, can't fish for things with ease. Not quite in time to get the air throw there. Spacing's off, timing's off. Great use of spin to delay offense to try and throw off the scent of when Eno should hit 2H. Oh. Little whip punish there, BT. Down a round and a half. Steve halfway to victory. There we go. That's what BT needs to do. Hit the button from downtown. Flex shield, not punished. Steve feeling pretty good right now, I'd wager. But BT, thankful that Steve has fewer resources to work with. BT working with positive. It's a perfect. Very nice. And I like the, how BT was in absolutely no rush whatsoever to turn that into a closeout on the round after the positive bonus. Let it hang a little bit, build up a little bit of burst. Now this is where Steve wants to play the game. BT... Steve's dismay is showing great awareness of how to deal with these spin situations. Steve's health, not in the worst of situations. Anji's a very healthy boy, remember. Has to beware a reversal super here, Steve. Honestly, both these gamers have to beware a reversal super. Hidare? Just goes for throw, excuse me. Goes for throw again. BT expecting a strike, gets caught and hit with the OTG. Steve, 2-0. Being in control of this set. see what, how BT will dig deep to fight back. Ooh, just running in. Not quite getting the button needed to convert, to keep going at that string. Little drop there, but it works out in Steve's favor. Gold burst. Uses the 5P to check the dive, as Anji wants to do. Steve's on set point. BT's starting off strong. Steve's starting to find situations to try and deal with what's going on. Nice use of the RC. BT making good use of meter to at least keep safe from these fish. Now starting to delay offense, seeing what Steve likes to do. Steve has a bunch of meter to work with. Not enough to turn anything into a big kill. Gold burst again? Steve, you are a lunatic, you know that? Steve, you are a lunatic, you know that? Steve! Fakes it! Doesn't quite get a punish. Oh, I thought for sure Steve would convert. Just goes for the mix with the overhead and gets it. It's scary how Steve plays this character. It's definitely not what you'd expect. Alrighty, gamers, we're gonna get winners finals going on now. Emo Scooby-Doo, Fatcatteddy. Teddy has one player side. We may hear some horrendous piece of music. We don't know. Not yet. Keith has unleashed the sting.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves...
Duel 1! Let's rock!
Teddy. Not hitting us with the rotten music immediately. Classic Faust theme, arranged version. He's spending burst to take the corner. I respect it, but this is gonna be a dire situation to be in. Johnny has a life lead like that. Oh my gosh, 100 meter to boot. This is death. That's what dying actually looks like. If you look in a dictionary, it's gonna look like a big J. Ooh, just out of range for that 2H. Scooby-Doo getting a little reprieve. He's getting a punish, though. Taking things to the corner. Look at the discrepancy in how much damage these characters are dealing to each other. Like, granted, Scooby-Doo didn't get a fully confirmed combo or anything, but it's a little into the just a little 5K into the sweep there. I noticed Scooby-Doo, this is the second time now where after a stroke has gone for a backdash immediately. I think Teddy is capitalizing on that. Yeah, that's how Teddy got that first big punish in this match, this past round, and we'll have to see what kind of adjustments Emo Scooby-Doo bring to the table to deal with that. Smell has ever been said. I have to check the records. Ooh. Applying pressure. Oh my gosh. With the overhead. It's going so fast. Really backing down. Bolting in with a throw. Just run in with a throw, just a bluff. I understand why TK Misfiner can do what it does. It does feel like oppressive after all the Johnny buffs, though. Okay, Emo Scooby-Doo with a gold burst. May have a chance to turn things around. Teddy with a burst of his own. Runs up with a close slash. Just gets shot from so far away by the Mistfiner. 8-2-0 right now. Scooby-Doo's gotta dig deep for something right now. It's definitely, no matter how you slice it, it's a spooky matchup to be against. Almost all the angles Eno can really approach at, this Finer can deal with. Again, the backdash after the stroke, and Teddy's capitalizing on that. Not quite able to get a big punish with the baited YRC there. Teddy really on top, just grabs Emo Scooby-Doo by the hat, put themselves on set point. Teddy. In control with a card, goes for the bluff, just doesn't even try to pop the card. Now with another one, getting those plus frames. Calling out the stroke with the J. Oh, baiting the burst. Just goes for the throw. Quick and clean 3-0 for Teddy there. Moving on to Grand Finals winner side. Scooby-Doo go down to Losers Finals to await gamers playing our next match, C-Drive and Stinky Steve. I see some theory crafting about Johnny's situation here. I think the character would be fine if he just had a little less range and a little less health, among other stuff. Steve, C-driving the anti-air cold burst. Backdash the throw attempt. Not baiting any kind of burst there. I have to be careful there. I was a little worried Steve had chased right into the drone. Let's find the wall break. He kills. Again, I didn't quite think it would play out that way, but it happened. Finding throw, getting the butterfly pressure. Finding a throw, Steve. Whew. It's clipped. I saw a throw there from the looks of things. Unfortunate move after the RC. You know, I dig that use of the RC, backing off and letting the drone do the work for you. Well-timed YRC. And Steve taking things pretty convincingly. There were a few scrapes in there, but... Oh, excuse me. Catching the spin with a JD. C-Drive. Has to deal with... What is up with Steve going for gold bursts all of a sudden? This, like... Is Life Jam playing right now? What's happening here? I'm really curious as to what Steve's thought process with the JS as opposed to JH for these safe jumps is, but he's making it work. You know, 5H can anti-air in some situations, but not that situation. Steve. Look at these delays on Fujin. Steve is playing really wily this evening. The behind the back. Oh my gosh. No security cancels. Steve, if you can turn things around here, I'm gonna be so impressed. You know, but you did steal C-Drive's meter. Took a reversal off the table. A little more cagey right now, I feel like. Look at these gold bursts! Steve! Uh-oh. Steve is just pressing in. He's playing, like, weird, really aggressive. The hop. Carbine. You can't joke your way out of this one. No tricks you can play will save you there. C-Drive evens it up 1-1. In this 1-1 situation, no gold burst this time. Steve really wants to use bursts early, like this whole bracket. Finds the optimal use of spin after that sweep there. I really like... There we go! Finding the frame trap, not quite getting to 2K conversion. Oh, behind the back. Steve under pressure now. It's punished with the using the deflect shield. You know, this feels familiar. Something akin to C-Drive getting clipped by reversals at some point and having to go into bigger, longer strings and just going for 2P. And now it feels a little bit like the opposite, where that big attack got beaten by deflect shield, gave Steve plenty of space to punish. It's an old story though. Beginning of the throw. Remember, after an IAD into after an IAD JH in that situation, Anji is +5. Spending burst immediately. Getting a big 2H conversion there, going for the super. 2H is a great tool to convert air hits from close S. Oh my gosh! There's a 2-frame gap there between that close slash and the 2H there. I'm not sure what C-Drive is trying to hit there. It certainly wasn't a throw. Two to 1, Steve's favor. Steve has a very real chance. Take the game here. Oh my gosh, behind the back with a close slash. That would have... Steve is playing super aggressive, and it's working. Too keen to just check it? Went for the throw. It's cheeky, but it didn't work this time. Going for the throw. Not getting the biggest punish. Steve's gonna regret this. Not able to have this chance to kill. And that was definitely dicey. Steve on set point, but has to have a perfectly good chance to get a kill. Oh my gosh. I feel like he might have been trying to go for something else there, but he really likes that that fan toss to get certain strings. Fortunately, too close. The drone allows for Midare to give Steve a big turn. Spending the burst. Going for the Midare. Oh, behind the back! This... I'm sure this has the means to kill. Doesn't quite manage to make it happen. Just a little 2P. Steve, moving on. 3-1 to losers finals. And you know what that means. Long-time WeebCup gamers will know exactly what that means. Thank you for coming through C-Drive. It's a privilege and a pleasure as always to see you. We will see you when we see you next. That's right, long-time WeebCup enjoyers. It's been a minute. I've been intentionally trying to avoid it when doing upseeding. The fated match, Emo Scooby-Doo versus Stinky Steve in Losers Finals. I believe this is the farthest along the bracket we've seen this matchup ever happen. Ah yes, good old cursed pictures. Speaking of cursed things happening for WeebCup, I actually have next week's bracket all ready to go. I just need to hit the submit button. Getting the Megalomania immediately. No, it's Steve getting the big capitalization. It's the meter to make things happen, but... Oh my gosh. Yeah, closing it out with aplomb. Steve has overcome one Ino this bracket. Don't think he won't overcome another. I tell you, Steve is finding very good timing to use these PRCs after Reed. PRC and oh my gosh, charge dust? Looked like we were seeing one a little more spicy than what we saw from Teddy earlier in the bracket. Good use of the flex shield there. Get Ino off your back. Get out from under the note pressure. Steve, up one. Slayer's coming, you know, look forward to it. Okay.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
No gold burst this time, Steve. Without a burst now. That's the trouble with spending gold burst now. It doesn't give anything back. Finding a great spacing to challenge Ino at. Oh, Scooby-Doo. Oh, throw incident. Oh my gosh, clipped by the car and Steve getting aggressive. I know Emo Scooby-Doo is no fan of this character, but I think the means to win are there. When the chips are down, Emo Scooby-Doo knows how to be really, really patient in this matchup. Pose through the chemical love. Oh, doesn't get the punish, gets a burst? Steve is playing incredibly interesting manner this evening. Bursting there is a choice. Oh my gosh. Steals the burst from Emo Scooby-Doo though. Oh my gosh. And the timing on that really just goes for the throw. Doesn't quite get the proper punish there. Doesn't quite get the finish there. Rin would have done it. Okay. Emo Scooby... Oh, the back throw incident! Emo Scooby-Doo had a chance there. I think must have played a little too anxious around the burst, and Scooby-Doo tried to OS into, Steve tried to do something like an OS throw tech situation. It is definitely turning into a one-sided match so far.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Steve, in charge. Most Scooby-Doo will be going home in third at worst, though. They don't manage to turn things around here, but... I think Emo Scooby-Doo. Oh no, just a little too slow in the update. Under pressure here. Oh, this is a tragic situation to be in. Sneaky Steve on set point. Goes over the sweep, very nice. That's what Eno's high-low pressure brings to the table. Converts off the MLA, counter hit. Looking alive right now. The Scooby-Doo. It's caught by the deflect shield spacing. Emo Scooby-Doo playing aware of it. Foil gets caught by the fish, has to be careful moving in, because how Midoriya can be used to navigate around these projectiles. Goes low, but manages to catch Steve from above. Woo! Can't believe Nagi hit from there. Look at the corner carry on that. Look at the ability to turn that into something nice. Emo Scooby-Doo. Again, going over the sweep, getting a punish on the burst. I think can close things out, yeah. Oh, not quite! Steve has one chance, a 1 HP in a dream. And it gets scooped. Emo Scooby-Doo staying alive. Looking to push the narrative of this match to swing towards them. Going home in third? No, that was me being presumptive. Now show us. Show us what you're gonna do to stop that from happening. Like, either one of these gamers in Grand Finals would be an excellent situation. I have no qualms who goes wherever, because I'm not biased as a commentator. That said, I kind of do want both of them. I'd be happy if either of them got there. Neither of them have anything to be shamed about going home in third. Sneaky Steve, getting a scoop. And look, just these little bits of damage that Steve has been getting so far really added up. Look at that 2P. That 2P did a pretty decent chunk, all things told. What a conversion with that 5H. 2P, 6H. With Steve on set point. Woo! Scooby-Doo's fighting back. Steve with a 2P check. Look at these shimmies Steve's bringing to the table. Fire seeing out. Threat of reversal is off the table. Things are looking dire for Scooby-Doo. Ooh. Steve, 3-1, will be moving on to Grand Finals. Scooby-Doo, appreciate you coming through. Say it on the regular, privilege and a pleasure and all that. But I really do appreciate all the regulars who come through. And appreciate everyone who comes through irregularly as well. It's nice to have a little community of friends. Nice to have a little community of competitors. Bring out the best in each other, you know? We move into Grand Finals. Tension is building. Can start anytime, but Steve is stuck in the void dimension. I think I'm gonna take this time to just wrap up the next week's bracket. I'm gonna punch it in right away while we're waiting. It's not gonna take but a minute, but I I do want to say it's swell seeing everyone come through. Normally closing ceremony kind of thing, but yeah. I've been touching on it throughout the bracket this evening. I've got something I wouldn't say completely cursed for next week's bracket, but you will see it go up pretty soon, probably this evening or tomorrow morning. Alright, gamers, it's time. The conversion off that bar slash counter hit. Check the dandy step. Ooh! Steve with a life lead so far. Teddy playing aware of how to check these Fujin options. Oh no, unfortunate. That 6B must have been a misinput. Steve is getting bullied by these dandy step follow-ups. Nailed by the pile bunker through the wall. And I really like the use of projectile in this matchup. It's something I personally like very much. And I want to see Steve do just a little more of it, personally. Excuse me. Teddy chalks up the first W in this set. Spin. It's definitely going to be one of Anji's strongest tools. Not quite getting proper conversion. Yeah, there we go. Suddenly, with a slow projectile like Mappa-Hunch, with a slow projectile like Butterfly, excuse me, Mappa-Hunch kind of becomes a detriment. It can't go through Butterfly, and trying to go over it. Eddie, you silly, silly guy. I don't think this is gonna kill, but it's gonna do a grip. Anji's super is pretty low on damage. Oh my gosh, he got punched? Just 2P. But yeah, a slow projectile like Butterfly can really kind of gum up the works when it comes to skipping neutral with Mappa-Hunch or Dandy Step. And then you can use the likes of Ko or 6P to try and beat options that go over it. Big conversion. Eddie is playing pretty aware of what to do against Fujin right now. These delayed 2Ks. See, that's what's really spooky, is the Master's Hammer to go over the Butterfly. You gotta have an answer ready to go for that. I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but I said earlier this evening I ran into Mixius in the tower, and I did manage to get a Ko ready for that exact situation, so we'll see if Steve can adapt if the situation presents itself again. The overhead. Oh my gosh. Command grab the bite. Steve. Oh! Rick is cranked. Oh my god. I think that's like... You rarely see those level 3 counter hits from Risk going up. Really? That's... Pile Bunker puts you in crouch state? Wild. I didn't know that. Discovering new tech. It's 2-1 Teddy's favor, though. Steve This is gonna be... It's looking grim. I have to see what kind of deep digging Stinky Steve can do at this time.
Duel 1. Let's rock!
A little bit of air dash cross-up action with the JP. Interesting. Escape's the worst of that 2K there, 2H there. Great observation. Nice pickup. The 5H into Karanagiha is always really fun to see in action. Woo! Unfortunately, counter hit Master's Hammer is coming, Steve. Be careful. Hitting with the meter to make that pile bunker safe. Hitting on set point. Put that in case it doesn't get a chance later. Oh no, a little too plus. Is checking for follow-ups on the likes of Dandy Step there, but it can be a little spooky in case Teddy starts going for frame traps. Oh my gosh. So much damage. Oh my god. It may be over. It's over. It's not quite over. Yeah, not quite. Oh! Steve. Oh, the 6P. Steve. Just gets popped by the overhead. 3-0. Fatcatteddy, WeebCup 204 champion. Will be going home in first place. Stinky Steve. Getting respectable second place. That is going to do it for us this evening, everybody. Thank you all for coming through. Thanks for BT to backfilling after being prodded to do so, bringing us up to a nice round 8. And now we move on to the part of the evening where I thank you all again. Thank you all for coming through. Appreciate it. Privilege and a pleasure to see every last one of you playing in a bracket, having a good time. And we're going to be moving... Let's see, which raid? We're going to be raiding someone at this point in time. I think... Bracket About Nothing might not be doing their beginner run. They might be, though. I know I've been sending y'all over to a bunch of non-Guilty Gear related stuff lately, so I think just this once I will send you over to Bracket About Nothing. Go through, say what's good, and y'all have a good rest of your evening, everybody. I will see y'all when I see y'all. Expect a top 8er this evening, and I think I will be able to get a next week's WeebCup registration up as well. Have a good one, everybody. Take care.